This is Toast to Our Differences, presented by schuh.
Hey guys, and welcome to Toast to Our Differences. My name is Vuj, and this is
Morgan.
And we have linked up to host a series exploring very complex topics that are relevant to our society today.
A lot of people feel uncomfortable talking about these subjects, so it's going to be amazing to have our guests and experts in to help us and educate us on having an open conversation.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the Toast to Our Differences. I'm Vuj, and I've got a wonderful Morgan with me, and I think today will be quite a particularly interesting episode because I'm a big football fan. I know Joe, who's with us right now, is also, and we also have SAKIMA, who's a musician. And today's episode, it's about LGBTQ plus issues. It's about equality. And let's start with Joe White. I mean, I've got a few bits of information on you, that you are a part of Free Lions Pride and the Gay Gooners. I'm not sure if you founded it, but you're part of it. If you could just let me know and let us know what you do in the organisation.
So I'm co-chair currently of Arsenal Gay Gooners. So that is Arsenal's LGBT plus fan group. It was the first in the UK back in 2013. And as part of that, I was involved in Pride in Football, which is like the umbrella organisation in the UK. So we went out to Russia for the 2018 World Cup and kind of waved our rainbow flags and campaigned out there and worked with LGBT plus Russians to highlight it as an issue.
Well, I think that would be definitely something we'll touch upon. I was actually in Russia myself for the World Cup, and I know the LGBTQ issue in Russia is quite contentious with the government and perhaps the mentality over there. Talk to us, Kim, about what you do.
Well, so I'm a songwriter and a producer in music, and work for Morgan a lot on her projects. I do my own artist project. I have my own artist project where I kind of more freely can express my identity or my sexuality in various ways, which is really good. I'm really lucky to have such a thing, a platform in which to do that. But yeah, I identify as queer, but I think I also sort of, the lines kind of blur a little bit around there. Like some days I want to be a cis male, some days I want to play with that, some days I want to be completely feminine, I want to wear makeup. Like it completely depends on the person that I wake up being that day.
Especially in football, it must be so difficult. And it kind of like raises the question, I think, to both of you to chime in, is like, there's no gay footballers. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's one big question that, it's
my boyfriend plays football, and when we used to be able to go to the games, you just hear abuse, and this is like you hear abuse and you think, this is why the gay footballers are not coming out. It's because it's already so bad, and they probably feel intimidated because the statistic is there is one gay person in every 11, so there's 1 in 11 gay people, right? And there is 11 people in a football team. What's your opinion as to why footballers don't come out gay as often as maybe in the music industry, or do you know what I mean? Because obviously the music industry...
And in a women's game as well, sorry, I was to chime in a women's game as well.
Yeah.
Women's game is much more common to come out as you're potentially lesbian or queer or kind of share your identity, and you're not going to get abused, whereas I think in a men's game...
Yeah, a lot of people, not everybody, use it, in my opinion, as this opportunity to reinforce their masculinity. And when at the end of the day, it's what it is. It's a game. It's like bringing people together. It's like a shared experience. It's about fun and joy and all these things and celebration. But what it has become over time is this vehicle for masculinity, which is one of the reasons why I feel alienated by it, on the opposite end of a football engagement. But yeah, I feel like there's this, football is just this huge pressure. Like, how can you come out in the current climate of football? If you can't even have like a cis female coming in onto a team of men, how can you expect to go any further outside of that box? Like, how?
Football just, especially kind of around coming out, I'd stopped following football as much as well. So I used to go to games with my dad, my best friend, and his dad at the local club. And you start picking up things as you're exploring your own sexuality, of what words being said and what they actually mean. And when you hear those slurs and realize actually they're talking about you kind of don't want to be involved anymore.
Yeah.
And so I didn't go to a game live for probably 10 years because I didn't feel it was somewhere that I was welcomed. And I only got back into football because of finding out about groups like Gay Gooners and realised, well, actually, there are people that are like me that are in the community that go. There is that kind of support aspect in going to games, and it's making a huge difference in the stands. We've got, I think, Arsenal Gay Gooners membership is now around 1,000 worldwide. We cover every continent, including Antarctica, in that membership. We've got people in countries where it's illegal to be gay, where you can be killed for being gay, that kind of message us and say that we keep them going because they know kind of it can be better, and they know that they can be part of an Arsenal family that puts out messages for Pride, that you get players like Hector Bellerin posting on his Instagram pictures of us at Pride saying it's great to see. Like, there is slow incremental change in football, but fans are a huge part of that, especially when there isn't visibility on the elite male pitch. And I think changing the atmosphere in the stands makes and creates an environment that a player who feels comfortable to do so knows that they'll have the support of the fans if they do come out. And whilst that visibility isn't on the pitch, we are making sure that visibility is in the stands and that it makes a change. And like, Russia was insane for that because we were having people from all over the world coming over to us, and we were doing kind of I think we did 43 countries media in like a 3-week period whilst we were out there. People were really interested about what kind of made us kind of go out there and want to be visible. What were the challenges? Why is it important in football? And we got to talk with the governing bodies. So we managed to get links with FIFA, links with UEFA, links with the FA. And we managed to have these conversations that otherwise we might not have got if it was in somewhere like Germany, for example. So it being in Russia was both a horrible situation for the LGBT community, but also we were determined to make something positive of it and making sure that we really shone a light on LGBT equality in Russia and within football.
I remember, sorry, it's more a personal experience. I remember one time I was in Serbia and I was wearing purple shorts and I was coming back from a swimming pool and I had my top off. And, you know, I'm a slim dude. I can be a bit effeminate at times. I was raised with my mum mainly. And a guy just went, "Look, there's a gay." And I was like, what? Like, you know, how do I react to that? I'm like, I'm not, but what? Do you know what I mean? It's like, I can imagine if you're actually a gay person, you must have encountered that in your life. And I'll be honest, like, I've actually dated a queer girl once, and I feel I did get a sort of insight into that community, which perhaps I wouldn't have gotten if it was, you know, I was just dating sort of a straight girl. And I did learn a lot. I think at times for me, it was quite difficult to process some of perhaps the changes and the technology and also the individual's choices, which I think someone who perhaps, you know, is a straight dude, you just sort of have that one way of thought. But I think it's important, and it's good also to learn about these stories and experiences which are valid as well. And it's cool. Thank you guys for, you know, being willing to share your stories and sort of accept my ignorance as well.
Yeah, with football, it's a conversation that needs to be had more publicly in the media as well. It needs to be pushed a lot more than it is. I know it's being pushed, but it needs to be pushed more.
Thank you for the conversation. I do think, you know, I've learned a bit myself. Hopefully the world will be progressing more and more, and we'll all be sort of learning more on our journeys. I mean, I know I've grown up in, I'd say, quite many homophobic environments, and, you know, as I said, like, I've been called gay myself, and it's such a weird thing that this is even, I think, a slur. People try to use it as a slur. I think is also quite a. It's hard for me to take as someone, I guess, who straight doesn't understand. Why would you use that as a slur? What is that? You know, what's the problem with that?
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Toast to our differences. We're toasting to ours. Drink up
Toasting.
imaginary wine.
Toast.
All right, guys, man. Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
See
so
you
much.
later.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Well, the last criminalization of a homosexual person in the UK was like 2013. Like, it was crazy. Like, homosexuality was like partly decriminalized in 1967. But for decades afterwards, like, people were still being criminalized for it.